Hello there everybody, it's Joe here and welcome back to my F1 2021 My Team Career Mode, and we continue here at Austria. If you haven't seen the last episode from France, I urge you to go back and check that one out. Before you come back and check this one out, I promise you it was a good one. Fantastic. As per usual, this is your last chance to do so before spoilers, so you have been warned. So after an epic comeback drive in France, where we basically overtook the entire field after a spin, some of them twice over, and we still made the podium, we're still on a great run. You know, we've had 2 wins in a row, and then we had a 3rd place, so I'm hoping to keep that momentum going. We were able to get through Q1 despite the drying conditions and not improving because of the drying conditions, but Nikita Mazepin getting into Q2. Wow, that's a story and a half, isn't it? Anyway, now I believe we are in Q3, and I'm trying to set the fastest lap possible to get myself into a decent position on the grid. Hamilton has just done a 1 minute 2.2, and I tell you what, the lap times around here, it is a case of blink and you'll miss it. It is so quick. But let's see, where are we in comparison with Leclerc? We are 6 tenths up, nearly 7 tenths up actually. As we now head into the final 2 corners, this is kind of make or break for our lap. We've gone a bit wide there. I'm using all the circuit and a little bit more, but what is it going to be for us? Where are we going to be starting this race from? P2 alongside Lewis Hamilton. Let's go.
Joker and Max Verstappen. With qualifying complete, all that remains is... Welcome to the beautiful Styrian Mountains for another chapter in the story of the Austrian Grand Prix. The Spielberg circuit then is situated 700 meters above sea level, with just 10 corners making up one of the shortest laps of the season. One time around here is a distance of 2.6 miles, with the best overtaking chances into turn 1 or the tight uphill turn 3. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here today, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course, you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Joker completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Bottas, Sergio Perez, and Button, Leclerc, Ricciardo, Gasly, and Yuki Tsunoda, Norris, Vettel, George Russell, and Joe, Mazepin, Stroll, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Esteban Ocon, Mick Schumacher, Sainz. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty, Latifi, and Artem.
Right then, on the grid alongside our championship rival, what can we do here? It is lights out and away we go. Hamilton's got a bit of wheel spin. He's going to go and try and cut me off, but Verstappen is away like a bullet out of a gun. Round the outside, he's taken the lead. Perez has turned into me there, and he's lost a bit of momentum in doing so because he went wide. Verstappen and Hamilton side by side coming up to T3, and Hamilton may have to back out of that one, but he's still going to send it up the inside. Verstappen trying to hold it out around the outside. They're still side by side. Like it was for the IRL season, it is Hamilton versus Verstappen up in P1, and neither one willing to let go. Hamilton taking the inside of turn 4, and Verstappen eventually having to back out of that one. But that was exciting to watch for the first lap. These two not willing to give an inch. Jenson Button right behind me in P4 now, and he's trying to stay with me. But I'm trying to stay with this leading duo to see if they change places again at any point soon. What an opening lap to this race this was. And we've got 35 more to come, and Verstappen didn't get the best run out of there, but we've got a decent run. There's a yellow flag behind us. Verstappen's going to try and cover the inside. We're going to go to the outside. Has that worked for us? Yes, that has. And, well, what has happened here? That is Valtteri Bottas going into Sergio Perez, who was pitting, and taking off his front wing. And he's now peeling off to the side. And, well, Bottas actually decided to pull off out of the race. Right, back with the battle at the front. It is Hamilton leading, myself in second, having just swept around the outside of Max Verstappen. And Hamilton has got a second on me. I've got the DRS open, but Hamilton just about able to keep that gap. And we're now going to struggle with Verstappen behind, because Verstappen is all over my rear. If anything, I've got to worry more about Verstappen behind me than I have Hamilton in front of me. Then it's Button in fourth and Gasly in fifth as we go wide there. And we're still just about hanging on to Lewis Hamilton and trying to find enough time to get past. This is a straight fight now between the two championship rivals. Verstappen, who is also in the mix, he's in P3. So right now, the front three are three of the championship contenders currently, as Carlos Sainz experiences an engine failure. That's rotten luck for the Ferrari driver, who just doesn't seem to have had much of the luck this season. But Ferrari will be hoping that their luck changes. Meanwhile, I'm having a look at Hamilton there, no way through, but here we go. We're going to have a run going up the hill, and we're going to try and get him into the tight right-hander as we go up the hill. Hamilton goes defensive. We're going to the outside. Can we get the move done around the outside? Hamilton covers well. But now we've got the better exit, and Hamilton parking it on the exit apex there beautifully and making us lose momentum as a result. He's going to cover the inside again, but we're going to try and outbrake him around the outside. Can we sweep it round? No, Hamilton again covers and parks it on the apex again. Brilliant defending by Lewis Hamilton. And all this is bringing Max Verstappen right into the battle. This is a straight fight right now between three of the championship contenders. And I'm not willing to waste any more time. I'm going to try once again the outside of Lewis Hamilton. Only this time I don't give him the opportunity to park it on the apex. Rather I swing round the outside and get that move complete. You can see there Hamilton going in very tight. We're able to take the momentum around the outside. And just before he can park it on the apex, we take the exit apex to stop him doing so. And that is the race lead. But Hamilton's now coming back at us. I'm having to cover the inside. Hamilton now going to the outside. And Verstappen behind the pair of us getting very keen. And I just wonder if we keep fighting it out like this, how long will it be before Jenson Button decides, you know what, I'd like a slice of this action too. And Pierre Gasly isn't entirely out of the mix either. Right, we've had a bad run out of the last corner. Hamilton's having a look down the inside. We've covered him, but he's now going to try and get around the outside. That's only going to end one way. I've taken the inside line, and Hamilton having to back out of that one. And I'm sure if he was on team radio right now, he'd be complaining. Verstappen is now going back at Hamilton. You can see here, these two are now battling it out over second again. And Jenson Button has arrived on the scene. Verstappen takes that P2 from Lewis. Meanwhile, we use this opportunity to pit and take on a medium set of tyres. And we're going to be doing a two-stop strategy in this race. So I don't know if that's the right or wrong way to go. I also believe we're going to go round the outside of George Russell here for P11. And what I'm hoping here is that these medium tyres last until the rain comes, because I have heard there is rain on the way. So I'm hoping that we can hold it out on these mediums until that rain turns up. Right, Italian Jesus just ahead of us, and we're getting held up. This is not what we need. But I'm going to set the move to go down the inside of the second left-hander. And Giovinazzi actually holding on brilliantly there. But we've got such momentum. We've got about the width of the cars that Giovinazzi has given us. And that is all we need to get that move done into P10 and back into the points. Meanwhile, our teammate is just coming out of the pits, as is Max Verstappen. Now, they're all on soft tyres, so Do they know something I don't? That's something that's interesting me. Right, we're now tucked up behind Lance Stroll, and this is going to be a pretty straightforward move, or so I think. Thought it would be, but Stroll's not really yielding easy, is he? But we're going to take the second inside line at the left-hander, and Stroll is done. Look how difficult he made that for us. Stroll parking his car in all the right places, making us have to go to the tight inside, and Stroll losing out on third place. And it's actually the two Alpha Tauris that are 1-2 at the minute. Meanwhile, we're now watching Lewis Hamilton on board with the black Mercedes, taking that fourth place and getting very sideways out of the first corner doing it. But look at that. It's the two Alpha Tauris who are still on the soft tyres they started on, leading the race. It's Gasly first, Tsunoda second. What a race for them. Guan Yu Zhou is now out of the race. He's got a mechanical issue of sorts. And you can see him. He's going to park off to the right there. As well, no, he's just going to stay on the racing line and irritate people that bit more before he parks off. But he finds a place to park it. He does park it. Gasly pits. And Lando Norris is now out of the session. And the safety car has come out. And you know what? That is advantage Pierre Gasly. He has just made his pit stop as Norris goes ploughing into the back of a Red Bull that's pitting there. He's trying to fight his teammate Ricciardo, but instead of watching the Red Bull that was pitting, he just went straight into him. How bizarre. And now Norris is parked up pretty much on the outside apex. And look at that. Gasly is on tyres that could theoretically go to the end of the race. And he is literally right with us. So Gasly pitting just before that safety car. Like I said, it's advantage Gasly at the moment. Advantage AlphaTauri. We're now going again. I'm hoping my tyres can last a little bit longer until this rain comes. And I've now got Hamilton and Button right behind me. And they're both on soft tyres. They're going to be super quick in this stage. We've managed to hold the lead for a couple of laps, but Hamilton's now going to try and have a look. We're going to cover the inside. Hamilton's trying to go around the outside. That's a brave move there, but he instantly gets shuffled out and loses it as he goes wide. And Button is now in second. Gasly is in third. I've decided at this moment to let Jenson Button go, as he is quicker at the moment, and I think he could be a driver that could get the gap to everybody else, and that is my thinking there. Button can go on ahead, and it'll give him the best opportunity, because he's just look how much further ahead he's got from me already. He's far quicker. I'm not going to hold him up. If we can get a team victory, we can. In fact, Jenson Button pits that lap, and a lot of the other AI are pitting. Meanwhile, this is Pierre Gasly on me for the race lead. Then I'm going to hold the inside. Gasly round the outside. Gasly brakes later and gets the move done round the outside. What a move by Pierre Gasly. And at that point, I just didn't have the grip to hold off anybody else with these tyres, so I decided to pit again. The rain did not come as early as I thought it would. They said, just before I pitted in for mediums, 15 minutes, and that was off camera, but the rain just didn't come. So we're having now... So, at that point, when I just didn't have enough grip to hold anybody back on the tyres I was on, I decided to pit again for the soft tyres. Right, Leclerc coming back at me. We've just passed Leclerc, but he has now come back at me for 10th place. Jenson Button in 9th, and my strategy has gone completely to hell. Realistically, I should have put on the hard tyres, and maybe then we'd have had a chance at going to the end, as I'm now trying to duck and dive, trying to find a way to get back past Leclerc, and he's busy with Artem Markelov. I've got Hamilton and Verstappen behind me. 3 of the championship contenders battling just outside the points, battling with Alfa Romeos here, because Markelov has now battled, and look how little room we've got to pass Leclerc there. But we used that room. We got squeezed almost onto the grass, but we used that room to get past Leclerc, get past Markelov, get past Latifi, and that is an overtake for the ages. That, if I'd have hit the grass a little bit more, that would have been me going round and out of the race. Right, now I'm on Jenson Button for P5. and I want to use the advantage of these tyres while I can. I'm going to dive up the inside, take that P5 away from him. Lance Stroll is next. Sergio Perez is third on the hard tyres, so he's clearly going to the end. It is starting to cloud over more, but still no sign of that rain just yet. But it is on the way, and now Jenson Button has got a run on me. And again, I feel like I've used up the advantage of the soft tyres very quickly. I'm not going to fight Button. I'm going to let him go there. Again, if he's quicker, he could potentially catch Stroll and Perez before I can. And any one of the team drivers being on the podium, you know what? That's a team achievement there. I am a team player. I am not a tyrannical leader. Lap 31, and I'm just staying with Jenson Button here. I've got Max Verstappen right behind me. And I do believe now we have rain. It is starting to rain. Finally on lap 31, but I have lost the grip advantage of these tyres, and they're starting to feel a little bit past their best as Max Verstappen's going to have a look down the inside there. He's got the move done. I've gone wide. I'm going to have to let him back through. I'm going to have to let Max back through. And in doing so, I nearly let Lewis back through, but I did that quite cleverly. Okay, back down the inside of turn 1. No good. Verstappen still there on my left. Hamilton in my rear. And again, it's the 3 championship contenders. Wheel to wheel here. 5th, 6th and 7th. Because Perez is 3rd and the 2 Alpha Tauris are still leading the way. Verstappen having to back out. Hamilton now coming back at me. And it's still not ready for intermediate tyres. Hamilton trying to go to the outside. He was able to keep the momentum that time though. He's going to have a massive run going up the hill. Hamilton's got through on my left. I'm now going to try and tuck in and use the slipstream to try and go round the outside. Hamilton going in very tight. That's going to cost him on the exit, and that is where we were able to get a better exit up into P5. This is action all the way here. Hamilton is not letting this go easy. Ricciardo now getting ahead of Max Verstappen as we try to cover Hamilton to start the last lap. No good, Lewis. You're going to have to go around the outside. He goes around the outside, and he does go a little bit deep, losing that momentum. Daniel Ricciardo now well in this fight. This is just wheel to wheel all the way. Ricciardo now down the inside, trying to get a double overtake done. I'm going to go to the outside, try and get the better exit. I've got that better exit because Ricciardo went in tight, but he's still there on my right. Ricciardo giving it everything for this P5 here, and the track is just getting slippier and slippier. Jenson has disappeared up the road now. He's decided he's had enough of this lot, and now Ricciardo's going to go round my outside, but I'm going to get a little bit of... Oh no, I've hit the curb and I've slid wide into him. Gasly's won the race. You can see there, I hit the curb, slid wide. Hamilton's trying to go down my inside. He's tagged me and round he goes. Lewis Hamilton, the championship leader, has gone round. He has tagged me. And I feel like I could have left him a little bit more room there, but there is so little grip here, and I've slid wide again. It's going to be P5, but what about that drive from AlphaTauri? What about that strategy? Pierre Gasly taking the win, Yuki Tsunoda getting second. How did AlphaTauri get a 1-2 out of all this? What an incredible result for them.
AlphaTauri will no doubt be celebrating tonight. What a great win. So Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
Well, they played the safety car to absolute perfection. There are so many factors to worry about once the race is neutralised. I mean, do you pit for fresh rubber? Do you have the space behind you? How much fuel can you save? If you answer all of those questions correctly, you'll have a good chance. And that's exactly what happened today.
And look at this, they're coming out now. AlphaTauri have developed something of a reputation for forging exciting new talent, and we can see that here. Incredible victory.
I said in France that AlphaTauri were having a great season, sitting pretty in 4th in the Constructors. Their season has just got even better. with Pierre Gasly winning the Austrian Grand Prix and Yuki Tsunoda getting second. I have to apologise for that last lap though, because I do feel like I should have given Lewis Hamilton a little bit more room there, but I was fighting to get back on the circuit after I hit the curb on the inside and understeered into Ricciardo, which I didn't mean to do. And I was trying to hold out round the outside again, but I clearly went in a little bit too eager, and as a result Hamilton clipped me and round he went. At the same time, I don't know, I feel like I should have given him more room, and I do apologise for that. But it's P5 for us, P4 for Jenson Button, so some great points for the team, and the championship closes up even more. Max Verstappen 8 points behind, Sergio Perez now 8 points behind, I'm 10 points behind. This is a 4-horse championship in this moment. Even Bottas has an outside chance on 116 points. Less than one race win off. This has tightened up massively over the last few races. Jenson Button sitting there in 6th. Gasly in 7th. And AlphaTauri's result just clearing them in 4th in the Constructors. I'm a little bit worried actually for us in 3rd at the Ray AlphaTauri are going, because their form is just... it's incredible. Well, thank you for watching this race. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you are new and want to see more content from me. And until the next time I upload, I've been Joe. Thank you for watching. Look after yourselves. TTFN, guys. Tough now.